Hello, friends. I'm Peter O'Leary. I'm a lector and a catechist at Ascension, and I'm offering today a reflection on the feast of the Holy Family of Jesus, Mary and Joseph. If you're watching this, it's Christmas has happened, so Merry Christmas to you and to yours. I thought we'd begin by reading the Gospel. So this is a reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Each year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the feast of Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up according to festival custom. After they had completed its days, as they were returning, the boy Jesus remained behind in Jerusalem, and his parents did not know it. Thinking that he was in the caravan, they journeyed for a day and looked for him among their relatives and acquaintances, but not finding him, they returned to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astounded at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished, and his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety." And he said to them, "Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" But they did not understand what he said to them. He went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them. And his mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus advanced in wisdom and age and favor before God and man. The Gospel of the Lord. When I was a boy, and my family attended Mass on the Feast of Holy Family, the reading from Colossians, often read on this feast, was still commonplace enough that my dad, who took pleasure at asserting his place at the head of the family, would, on the drive home from church, intone the words from St. Paul's letter, "Children, obey your parents in everything, for this is pleasing to the Lord." My older brother, who, even when younger, has always had a talent for pressing my dad's buttons, would quickly add, "And fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged." You don't hear this reading on Holy Family as much these days. It contains advice for wives to be subordinate to their husbands, something that I'm not alone in finding disagreeable, even as I recognize its historical context. This year sees Holy Family readings offer us a luminous passage from John's first letter as an alternate to Colossians, with its superb distillation of the message of the Gospels into the great commandment. We should believe in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and love one another just as he commanded us. To which John vividly adds, those who keep his commandment remain in him, and we in them. And the way we know that he remains in us is from the Spirit he gave us. As an aside, I want to say, as I grow older, I find all three of John's letters really speak to me more and more. So earlier in his letter, John emphasizes family as the metaphor for understanding our relationship to God. Specifically, he emphasizes that we are all children of God. After making this claim for the second time, John insists, what we shall be has not yet been revealed. What we shall be has not yet been revealed. Now this strikes me with a wallop. It's true, we're always, as Christians, anticipating the future into which we venture and from which Christ comes towards us. scintillating with revelation, but John specifically links this anticipation to the metaphor of family, of being children of God. What we are becoming, what we shall be, is still to be revealed, as if we are children growing before our parents' eyes. And when does this ever stop? You know, my parents are old, and still they watch me grow and change, just as I watch my own children grow and change, but mysteriously. My kids keep surprising me. In the reading from 1 Samuel, Hannah, Samuel's mother, offers a model for this experience of mystery when it comes to family. Specifically, she offers her son 3 times to the priesthood as a sign of her obedience and gratitude. In effect, she submits Samuel to the mystery that has defined her, not unquestioningly, not merely as an act of obedience or subordination, but instead as a solemn affirmation of her identity. Approaching Eli at the temple, she declares, "I am the woman who stood near you here, praying to the Lord." So let's consider in the same light the gospel story from Luke, which we just listened to, which offers us the one story about Jesus' childhood to be found in the Gospels. And as another aside, to me it's curious that there aren't more, even many more, such stories to be found in the tradition. There are esoteric and apocryphal stories of the child Jesus, but none in the canonical tradition. And my suspicion is that this absence suggests, despite the nativity stories in Luke and Matthew, and this one childhood story in Luke, that Christianity as a whole is decidedly more interested in the adult concerns of redemption. Christianity is not a religion of innocence, but rather one of experience. I'm taking those terms from the poet William Blake. In Luke's gospel, Mary and Joseph lose track of Jesus, who is 12. When they find him, 3 days later. Of course, I knew that, I've heard this story dozens of times, but once you have kids and you realize, the kid has been lost for 3 days, it really strikes you, that amount of time. So when they find Jesus, he is in the temple discussing Scripture in the midst of the teachers. This passage is perhaps best known for the way in which the adolescent Jesus casually dismisses Mary's anxiety by saying, with the confidence of an oracle, "Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" Jesus was never lost. Mary only believed, experienced as extreme worry that he had been lost. On its surface, this appears to be the lesson of this gospel reading. But I've been taking something different to heart, specifically Mary. Luke writes of what happened, and his mother kept all these things in her heart. What are these things? I believe they are the very mystery Hannah and John kept in their own hearts. And for me, the mystery can be this. When we call ourselves children of God, this doesn't mean we are like Jesus, insisting to be in our Father's house. Rather, we are like Hannah and Mary, mothers of prophetic children in whose hearts the mystery of family resides, because what we shall be has not yet been revealed, something every good mother knows for certain. I wish you all blessings of the Christmas season, and I wish for all of us a good new year, one that is free of anxiety, if possible. That's a tall order, but hopefully free of pandemical woe and its own anxieties. And I look forward as ever to seeing you all in church.